Word?
The gentleman does move to strike
Yes.
the last word.
Yes. Okay.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Jordan, for including H.R. 1238 in today's markup. Although it's tragic that the Biden administration has treated parents as terrorists, I am grateful for the opportunity for my Republican colleagues and I to stand up and defend every parent's right to be involved in their children's education, to be informed of the curriculum taught in local schools, and to advocate for free speech and transparency in local school board meetings. I have a passion for education. My life's journey and opportunity to live my American dream has been defined by a quality education I received. It was not by happenstance, but by design of my parents and a proud segregated community in which I was raised. I see education as the great equalizer in today's new civil rights. As a youth, I was a beneficiary of the success of many HBCUs during the 1990s. It was an era, the 1900s, I'm sorry. It was an era when the Black community led the country in the percentage of men matriculating from college. I was taught of the success of the great academic pioneer, Booker T. Washington, who founded Tuskegee University in 1881. By the early 1900s, this university was producing more self-made millionaires than Harvard, Yale, and Princeton combined. My father received his PhD in agronomy from Ohio State in 1951. He went on to teach at an HBCU, Florida A&M, for 40 years. My mom taught middle high school. They represented an entire generation that was totally committed to their children's education. At the age of 16, my parents, with 5 children, drove a Chevy station wagon, pulling a pop-up tent 7,000 miles from Tallahassee, Florida to California, north to Canada, back to North and South Dakota, and then back home. For 2 months, they planned and shared with their children every national park, monument, cave, mountain, desert, and ocean along the way. As teachers who loved their profession and children, my parents' lives were all about education. I'm convinced my love for this country and my fellow Americans are rooted in that family trip. When I was elected to Congress, my top priority committee was a no-brainer, education and labor. I'm committed to give every parent, regardless of race, creed, color, or zip code, the opportunity to give their children the gift my parents gave me, confidence through critical thinking skills and opportunity to earn their American dream. This means improving access, granting choice, and elevating the level of learning in pre-K through 12 education. It means combining rigorous academics, parent transparency, prioritizing students instead of academic bureaucrats, and granting good teachers the innovative freedom boasted by financial incentives. When education is transformative, our students are transformed. The last few years has been difficult as parents have watched their children suffer intellectually and mentally as their education was put on hold for an entire year. They have discovered the death of stealth and insidious indoctrination that was being imposed on them. They have discovered that if they showed up to their own school board meeting objecting, they would be literally targeted by our own federal government in collusion with school administrative bureaucrats as domestic terrorists. The power of education is rooted in trust, respect, and having the same end game, the success of every child. It's based on transparency and collaboration between students, teachers, administrators, and school board members. In my position as ranking member of the Pre-K through 12 Subcommittee on the Education and Labor Committee, I have been proud to advocate for the Parents' Bill of Rights. This legislation makes it clear what should be obvious, that parents, not academic bureaucrats, have the God-given right to make decisions for their children. Parents to have the right to know what their children are being taught. Parents to have the right to be heard. Parents to have the right to see their school's budget. Parents to have the right to protect their child's privacy. Parents to have the right to keep their children safe. Parents to have the right to choose the best learning environment for their children. And parents and children to have the right for educational freedom. Unfortunately, many school districts have been ignoring the wishes of parents while special interest groups try to criminalize free speech. I urge a yes vote on H.R. 1238 to make a critical step in holding the Biden administration accountable. Show us the documents in which you've labeled parents' participation in school boards a threat. Recognize that parents have a right to sit at a seat at the table in every aspect of their children's education. I want to say real quickly to my friends on the other side of the aisle, parents and moms and dads are not stupid. They will not go with the idea of not believing their own lying eyes. They do not believe that Democrats did not want to defund the police, or that the Reduce Inflation Act is truly reducing the inflation. And we'll see this in November as an accountant, a day to be reckoned with. Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Now, if no one else wants to speak, the question occurs on the amendment in nature of a substitute. This will be filed as amended. This will be followed immediately by a vote on reporting the resolution. All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no.